How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and today we're going to be talking about NNDM. This video was actually requested. People have been asking me, hey, what's the update? How are you feeling about it? And so forth. So that's what I'm going to be doing in this video. I'm actually going to be going over an article that gives a bearish outlook. Like you guys know, on this channel, we like to look at the positive side and also the negative side. So in other words, the bullish perspective and also the bearish perspective. I feel this is very important, especially when you are a shareholder or you're investing in a company. As far as being a trader, you're just going to be going strictly off of price action. So in this video, what we're going to be covering, we're going to be doing the technical analysis just to see how NNDM stock has been performing as of late. And then we're going to be going over that article. And then afterwards, I'll be giving you guys my final thoughts. All right, so we're going to be doing a technical analysis on NNDM Nano Dimensions. So if we take a look at what happened, so it ended up being down 3.03% on the day, ended up seeing highs of $9.06 and ended up seeing lows of $8.24. We also had a pre-market high over here of $9.23. So what we could see in regards to what happened yesterday, we ended up having a big time gap up and definitely having some support here right at the $8.95 area, but we just call that $9. So we did a really good job holding down that $9 area of support in the pre-market. We see this area ended up being broken as soon as the regular trading hours started, and we ended up seeing these lows of $8.24. But if we want to take a look in regards to support, we definitely have some strong support here at $8.30. If we open up the chart now very quickly here, we could take a look inside the pre-market, and it definitely looks like it's finding support right on that 50-day, staying above $8.34. But currently, from what I'm seeing, it's at $8.39. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing NNDM be able to reclaim back to the 100-day, in which is around $8.45. But of course, we've seen it touch $9 today, and of course, it is a long weekend as well. So that's something to take into consideration. Now, when we take a look at the 5-day, 5-minute chart to see what's been happening for the most recent of trading days, we have a low over here at $7.68, and you could definitely see right here at this $8.30 area, like I was talking about previously, is a solid area of support. But one thing to also be aware of, especially if you're looking at NNDM long term, there's a possibility it could end up getting back into this $7 range. And if it does, that is definitely an opportunity to take advantage of. But be prepared for a strong bounce, as you can see from this chart. Now, if we take a look now at the 3-month 1-day chart. So when we take a look at the 3-month 1-day chart, let's just open that out just a little bit more so you can see the trend. So of course we had the correction that was going on over here, but one thing that I want you to take notice of is what's going on right here. So you can see there's definitely a strong area of support right here at $8. So it's showing $8.03, but let's just call it $8. So once this particular area breaks, this is where we end up seeing areas of $7 and so forth. So if it ends up breaking through $8, I would definitely keep an eye within the $7 range. You really can't go wrong. You could also take a look and see, if we take a look at the 200-day, it hasn't really touched a 200-day in quite some time. So this is an area in regards to price action I really don't see happening. But in regards to going to $8, that's an area where you could scoop up, and anything above $7.50, and if you can get $7, even better. Now, as far as moves towards the upside, especially since I look at NNDM as a long-term investment, I do see it at some point reclaiming back to the previous highs of $17.89 and even going past that. I'm very bullish on this stock, but for the short term and medium term, what I want to look forward and I want to see is NNDM actually start getting some strong price action above $9.50. Will we get that sometime next week? That'll be great. Will we get it sometime this month? That's definitely what I am looking for. Because in regards to where it's at right now, I definitely do believe it's still at a decent price. So to give you guys my final thoughts in regards to the price ranges for NNDM, again, we already see it's bouncing between this $9 area all the way between $8 and $7.50. So definitely be aware of these particular areas, and if you can get it anywhere in the 7s, I think that's good value. So we're now on investorplace.com, and we're going to be going over this article that came out today on Nano Dimension. So here we go. So Nano Dimension will look a whole lot better after its price finishes falling. NNDM stock isn't worth the volatility at an entry point above $7. On this channel, we like to look at articles that both have a bullish and a bearish perspective. So this is the reason why we cover it on the channel, and I think it's great in regards to if you're an investor or a shareholder and so forth. Anytime I see that Cathie Wood of ARK Invest holds a stock, I'm instantly curious as to why. In the case of the Israeli-based 3D printer Nano Dimension stock, the veteran portfolio manager likes the fact that it's getting a lot of business from defense agencies. The ARK Next Generation Internet ETF, ARKW, owns 5.6 million shares of Nano Dimension, and the ARK Autonomous Technology and Robotics ETF owns 6.9 million shares and the ETF's 21st largest holding out of 47. Wood doesn't turn her stocks too quickly, so that's a big thumbs up for NNDM stock. That said, it's no guarantee that the investment will pan out despite the fact ARK Invest got a nose for innovation. Here are two things to consider before making an investment. NNDM stock is losing altitude. As I write this, Nano Dimension share price is off by about 16% for the past month. Most of that came into the final week of March. In February, it lost 28% of its value. Year to date, it's essentially flat. However, if you bought Nano Dimensions at the beginning of the pandemic, you're sitting on a healthy one-year return of 865.7%. If you happen to be one of those lucky people, your view of 2021 is probably a lot brighter than the person who only bought on February the 1st. Had I never heard of the company until last fall when I saw news Wood had bought its stock, a quick look at the investment manager's holdings shows that it's owned Nano Dimension as far back as 2016. How fast has Wood grown her company's assets? ARK Invest December 31st, 2016 13F report shows assets of $275 million. At the end of the December 2020, they were $37.6 billion. A big part of that, new funds flowing into ARK Invest ETFs combined with capital appreciation from stocks like Tesla and others. While NNDM stock's been losing altitude in 2021, its Dragonfly LDM 3D printing systems look ready to resume their growth. Q4 2020 sequential growth. COVID-19 did a number on Nano Dimension sales. Businesses slowed their capital spending plans. As a result, revenues in 2020 dropped by 52% to $3.4 million from $7.1 million a year earlier. On the plus side, its Q4 sales of $1.97 million were flat to Q4 2019 and 350% higher on a sequential basis from the third quarter. Thanks to $710 million in equity funding in 2020, it finished 2020 with $670 million in cash on the balance sheet. Two subsequent offerings in 2021 raised an additional $833 million in growth proceeds, lifting its cash balance to almost $1.5 billion at the end of February with no long-term debt on the books, which is great, especially if you are a shareholder hearing something like this. Let's continue. That will help cover losses for several years. In 2020, it lost $48.5 million, up from an $8.4 million loss in 2019. Most of the loss was due to an increase in share-based compensation. That's not unexpected from a growth technology company. The important thing is Nano Dimension's growth engine reignited in the fourth quarter. Investors can expect further growth in Q1 2021 and beyond. The negative underbelly. In early March, before Nano Dimensions released its fourth quarter results, investors placed Mark Hake discussed how investors had caught on to the company's dilutive fundraising. At the end of September 2020, 46 million shares were outstanding. 8 at-the-market share sales later, its shares outstanding had risen to 244.4 million, a 431% increase in its share count over 5 months through the end of February. So, for example, if you held 10% of its stock last September, good for 4.6 million shares 5 months later, your piece of the pie had shrunk to 1.9%. The company has raised so much money, $1.489 billion, that its remaining cash balance is $1.452 billion, represents 61% of its $2.371 billion market value, Hake wrote. Another way to put this is that the cash now equals $5.94 per share. So 1.452 billion divided by 244.44 million shares. My colleague also pointed out that the company was having trouble finding an acquisition to accelerate its growth. Special purpose acquisition companies were flooding the merger and acquisition space with money to burn. As a result, he felt the NNDM share price would likely retreat to $6.60 a share, or about 10% higher than the company's amount of cash per share. Trading at 615 times its actual 2020 sales, 412x 2021 estimated sales of 5 million, and 50x estimated 2022 sales, NNDM stock is definitely expensive. At the end of December, ARK Invest had 8.39 million shares worth 74.6 million. That represented 0.2% of the investment manager's total assets under management. Cathie Wood can wait for NNDM to make a move with its cash to justify the massive valuation it's been given by investors. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being little risk and 10 being a lot, I would say Nano Dimensions is a solid 6. I'd be hesitant to put something like that in a tax advantage account unless it was part of an ETF such as ARKQ. If you do buy, I like Hake's suggestion to buy between $6 and $7. Just be ready for a lot of volatility. On the date of publication, Will Ashworth did not have, either directly or indirectly, any positions in the securities mentioned in this article. So for my final thoughts for NNDM. I'm an investor and I do believe in them long term, and it's part of the reasons why I have no plan on actually selling my position. As far as price, you want to take advantage of the technical analysis portions in these videos. So if you end up seeing a pullback, then you can end up probably getting it at a price that you're actually looking for. Now, the next thing that I want to cover, when you're investing in NNDM, you are investing in the future. It is a forward-looking type of an investment. Currently, right now, taking into consideration the valuation, we do know that they have a ton of cash on hand. Again, well over $1.5 billion. That is great and all, but we need to see what they want to do with the money. So until we get further information in regards to, hey, what the acquisition is going to be and so forth, there's going to be a lot of volatility in this stock. When that acquisition target finally gets announced and it's completed, then I could definitely see this stock running and going up even further and also reclaiming back to its highs. But of course, it depends on what that target of a company that they actually end up choosing. But I'm just telling you guys right now, if you feel like you're running out of patience, then maybe this is not the stock for you. Because if you really do believe in this company and you believe in the future, then you should not be concerned. You just need to be patient and just realize that what you're investing in right now is the future. That's what you're investing in. I just want to make sure I reiterate that for you guys. And I also want to put in the disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor and this isn't financial advice. So just make sure when you do invest, you're doing it at your own risk. Make sure any company that you're putting your money into, you believe in that company. So when there's a lot of volatility, you won't be selling, and you won't be selling at a loss either. Now, I hope you guys found this video helpful. Hope you enjoy your long weekend. I'll be back on Friday to give you guys some more videos and updates to help you make money in the stock market. We'll talk.